Hi there, so I'm going to make a video on making inferences using samples. And so we're going to make an inference about a population using sample data. So here's the deal. It says, I teach 88 students this year. So I want to know which day would be, which people would prefer for taking a test. So I selected 5 people from 5 classes, which would be a total of 25 students. So on Monday, they said, I had 2 people say they wanted to take the test on Monday, 12 wanted to take it on Tuesday, 5 on Wednesday, 6 on Thursday, and nobody on Friday. So it says, based on my results, how many of my students would I expect to want the test to be on a Tuesday? So the only piece of information I really care about right now is Tuesday. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, well, I have 12 people in my sample that want Tuesday, and the total number of people in my sample was 25. Well, 12 out of 25 is, let's see, 48%. So 48% of the students that I teach said they'd prefer, of my sample, said they'd prefer the test to be on Tuesday. So what I can do is I can say, well, if 48% of the sample wants the test on Tuesday, well, what would be 48% of the population? Now remember, I teach 88 kids. So 48% is 0.48, 48 hundredths, times 88. Now I'm not sure what that is, so let me pull up my calculator here. So let's see, I'm going to do 0.48, 48% times 88, and I get 42.24. So I'm going to get about 42 students. Now, that's not to say that everybody wants to test on Tuesday. It's just saying 42 students would probably want the test on Tuesday. It's not even saying that 42 students will definitely want the test on Tuesday, because remember, we're trying to get a good idea of what would happen. Now, there is another way of doing this, and once again, if you take a look at this, this was the Tuesday, and this is the total. This was the sample, and then we're going to talk about the population. The other way we can do this is by saying, well, if 12 students out of 25 want it, and that's the sample, my population is 88 students. This would be X. So if we were to cross multiply, I'd get 25X equals 12 times 88. Oh, geez Louise. I suppose say it could be, I could probably do this in my head, but I don't really feel like it. Do 12 times 90, then subtract 24. 12 times 88 is going to give me 1,056. Then we divide by 25, and our answer should be about 42 students. Now, just to show that I'm not just making this up and hoping, I'm going to say divide by 25. And sure enough, we get the right answer. All right, so that's example 1. So that's not a great example because it's not super real life. It's kind of real life, but here's a much better example. It says, my brother is the director of a big organization. He has 1,200 employees. All right, so that's important here. He has 1,200 employees. That's my population. His organization was going to order t-shirts for everyone, but he didn't know what sizes. He randomly selected 40 employees. So that's his total sample size is 40. And he asked them what shirt sizes they were. So 2 were extra small, 6 were small, 16 were medium, 14 were large, and 2 were extra large. So what we can do is to figure out how many shirts he should order in each size, we can say We'll do extra small first. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to do 2 of them using cross multiplication and 2 of them using percentages. It might actually be most useful to find the percentages, but we're not going to worry about that right now. So cross multiplication, I'm going to say, all right, for the extra small, I have 2 out of 40, right? This is my sample. And that's going to be equal to how many out of 1,200? When we get 40x equals 2,400, divide by 40, and x equals, let's see, 60. So he'd have to order 60 small for the, 60 extra small. For the small, it would be 6 out of 40 equals x out of 1,200. So we get 40x equals 7,200. Divide by 40. X equals, let's see, 1,880. And that makes sense because, look, there was 3 times as many. So 60 times 3 is 180. So that makes sense. Now I'm going to take a look at the mediums. The mediums, I need 16 out of 40. Well, 16 out of 40 is really, let's see, 16 divided by 40 is really 40%. It's really 40%. So what's 40% of 1,200? It's going to be 480. So we need 480 mediums. The large would be 14 out of 40. Ooh, my pen's not working. Oh, there we go. 14 out of 40, which is, let's see, what percent is that? Should be 35. It is 35%. Good. 35%. So then we'd say, what's 35% of 1,200? Let's see, 0.35 times 1,200. Well, I know 10% is 120, so 243.60. 420 should be 420 shirts. And I'm just going to double check my math just because I think it's good practice. 35 hundredths times 1,200 is 420. Good. And then the extra large were the same as the extra small. But that's it. So those are 2 different ways that you can use this. And it also gives you a pretty good example as to why we would use it, especially the second example here. All right. I hope that this helps. Good luck with all of your work.